private investigator, retired. And Mo, how'd you get into the business?
Well, it started back in 1977 when I decided to change careers. I took some time off and tried to see how I would obtain a license to become an investigator, which is a few steps you have to go through. One is I had to go through the town council. I had to be cleared without having a record. And then once I passed the council and my record was clear, I received a license to become an investigator. That doesn't mean that because you have a license you know everything. You now have to train and learn how to use and do all the techniques. Fortunately, in my case, I started to work. Now, there are several techniques that can be done. And let's start off with the simple ones. Why do you suspect your spouse might be going out on you? This fits either man or woman. Well, one thing is, does your spouse compliment another person that you might know that's one of your friends? Let's say, talk about a man cheating on his wife. If your husband is giving another woman a lot of compliments that you might know, that could be a telltale sign. If your husband is going and answering the phone in another room or making calls so you can't hear him, got to find out where the water was coming because the entire bottom of the yacht was in water. It being an autopilot, it was running normal, everything seemed normal while we were on deck. So at this point in time, we had to look for help to try to get somebody to come and do something with the yacht, pump it out. During the daytime, we kept hearing the radio, people talking on the radio back and forth. So my partner got on the radio and started making some distress calls to let them know that we were in big trouble and we needed help. No one responded. We tried this for probably some 15 minutes and no one ever responded to us at all. And we were yelling, Mayday, Mayday, we need help. We were limited to what we were able to do, but we were able to do it anyhow. We just did it the hard way, the painful way. But the bottom line was that we still got the job done, even if it was the hard way. We were able to get the evidence we needed. We were able to get and find out if someone was going out on someone. We were able to locate missing persons, find them. There was a lot of things we were able to do by the know-how and the training that we had. I was an investigator for some 35 years in it. So I did have a lot of experience and a lot of training. And I did use a lot of new technology. Hi, here we are again with the Art of Investigations. Today I'm going to discuss a few techniques for anyone that is having an affair on their spouse. This is to help the person that is being cheated on. One of the techniques is the phone. Today we have these new iPhones that everyone has. If you're familiar with the iPhone, you know you can install an app on there that says Find My Phone, which is very handy. If you can install that on your spouse's phone, you would be able to locate where that phone is at any given time. There's another technique you can use also, is to purchase a phone. They call them burner phones. You purchase one of those phones and you put on that phone. Hello, here we are again with another story of investigations from your retired private investigator. This one I called Texas Misidentification. I was retained to locate a young child in Texas. We had a post office box number where the other parent had taken the child. She took the child without consent. There was a separation, and she was only allowed visitation rights, supervised visitation rights. Well, somehow she was able to obtain the child and ran off to Texas. We had a post office box number. So how we accomplished this was we turned around and came up with a plan. I went out to Texas. I purchased. Hi, this is the retired private investigator again with another story. This one is on tailing. I've used many techniques for following people. I've used automobiles, planes, boats, bicycles, walking, running, many ways. One of them that probably stood out would be aerial surveillances. That becomes a little tricky. The technique we use is we would put an agent in the air and we have another agent on the ground. I would use the agent on the ground as the actual agent that would be following the person that we were tailing. And how we would distinguish his car from up in the air is we would take a piece of tape and put an X on the roof of his car. Hi, here I am again, the retired investigator. I want to talk about my code of ethics. I had a case one time. It involved an individual that was in prison that called me up, collect, because at the time they could not have their own phones. And the only way they could get a phone call is if they called collect. So one of the girls in the office answered the phone, put me on the phone, and I talked with the individual. He wanted me to help him prove his innocence. So I told him I would meet with him at the prison, which I did. I had to be cleared. I went there, I met with him. I had his entire court proceedings, about yay thick, and I was glancing through it, and in it, of course, it involves him.
Maurice Dionne, private investigator, retired, part 1, starting out. Part 2, cheating spouses. Part 3, Bermuda Triangle. Part 4, the business has changed. Part 5, cheating spouses 2. Part 6, missing persons. Part 7, tailing someone. Part 8, code of ethics. Maurice Dionne, 35 years experience, private investigator, retired. Maurice Dionne, private investigator, an 8-part series.
Hello, this is Maurice Dionne. I'd like you to check out my 8-part series of my business in the last 35 years.